Well, it's a draw that everyone really was happy about, though we're having some bits to talk about. It was a game of two halves. Chelsea dominating the first half and the second half for the first 15 minutes. Then Arsenal, after conceding 2 goals, Arsenal raised up to the occasion to obviously fight back, to obviously gate this game into stalemate. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that you do upload in here on a daily. And as you know, we obviously come and react to every game of football as we're going to hit to end, especially if at all it's Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Man City, and so on and so forth. So we are here to react to the beautiful game of football that has seen the London Derby end in a stalemate with Cole Palmer having scored against Arsenal still at Man City in the Community Shield. Just gonna hate obviously do the needful and obviously score the first goal. In the first half it was a penalty after William Saliba was found guilty for the handball that he obviously went ahead to do. That is it. Then Mikhailo Modric later capitalized onto the mistake that David Raya made to get off his goal line and not being able to really even notice where his goal was and curl that ball into the back of the net to make it 2-0 in the 48th minute. Then Declan Rice also capitalized onto the giveaway from Sanchez, and it obviously went back of the net. And in the 84th minute, Bukayo Saka pulled out a moment of magic with a back post cross that found Leandro Trossard well positioned, and Trossard did no mistake and obviously put that ball into the back of the net to make it 2-2 for the side of Arsenal. After making it 2-2, Edin Ketia really got a very good golden chance to obviously see to it that he takes Arsenal in front, but it never really counted, and that's why everything really went on like that to end in a stalemate. But lots of things to talk about this beautiful game of football, but let's talk the game. Now, the first goal, which was a penalty given to Chelsea, to me, I see it as a harsh penalty for Arsenal. That is it. Because we've seen penalties like those not being given, and I ask myself, why did VAR have to go on and intervene into this? Because this man was really flying in the air to obviously hit the ball. And now, how many people have you seen hit their ball, fly in the air and hit the ball when their hands are really straight like this, all at attention? You cannot, because if you are flying to hit the ball, you need to obviously protect yourself. Do you know why players raise their hands when you're going to hit the ball? It's because they want to protect themselves, because a player can easily come and land into you and then put you onto the stretcher and go into the theater for some good months. So that's why Saliba jumped with his hands flying, and that ball was headed by Mikhailo Modric and it hit the hand. Now, I ask myself, why is VAR inconsistent? We obviously saw the same thing happened today that happened in the game of Arsenal and Man City on Kovacic. Kovacic did 2 fouls on Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, and he was given only 1 yellow card. Today, Ashley Young, as Everton were beaten by Liverpool by 2-1 before he was sent off the field of play, he committed 2 fouls that were not even close to any of the fouls that Kovacic did on Declan Rice and Odegaard respectively, and he was sent off the field of play, and Kovacic stayed playing. So VAR is continuing to be inconsistent in this game of football, and that penalty, to me, it was a soft penalty given to Chelsea. It wouldn't have gone ahead to be given, but you just obviously have to really say that they were lucky on the day to obviously get that. Then there was an incident of Gabriel Jesus where he was knocked by the goalkeeper Sanchez, and the referee didn't obviously, and the VAR didn't call the referee to do a review for that, because you remember the first game of Man United that we played against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Do you know what happened? What happened was simple. We went ahead and played against what's the team? Went ahead and played against Wolverhampton Wanderers, because I support Man United. In the dying minutes, Andrew Onana comes in through, misreads the flight of the ball, and instead of hitting the ball or really tipping it to go past the touchline. Do you know what happened? He ended up colliding with the two players of Wolverhampton Wanderers. The PMGOL came out and said, we are sorry, that would have been a penalty. Now, why isn't it a penalty right now when W. Jesus is being obviously smacked by the goalkeeper? And the rule is clear that when the goalkeeper comes out and misses out on the ball and smacks a player, he obviously gets himself booked and it's a penalty. So that would have been a penalty. And why didn't VAR come in through? Yeah, they had gone ahead to give a soft penalty to the player known as Palmer. So to me, VAR is obviously one of the things that is really good, but is being made to look bad by the people running it, because it's good for the game, but those ones running it are really inconsistent, and I don't know whether they bet these games or not, but it was not really a good one. For the second one, David Raya needs to be really blamed, because you can't obviously concede such a stupid goal. And I think when you come to teams like Arsenal, there is no honeymoon, because you've already found there a goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale, doing the needful, and he has never done the mistakes that David Raya is going to hate to do in the number that David Raya is doing at Arsenal. Let me school you. The only mistake I saw Ramsdale do when it comes to passing from the back was against the game of Southampton that ended 3-3. You know, in that game, Arsenal conceded a goal in 15 seconds. David Raya really passed or made the wrong. Sorry, Ramsdale made a very sloppy pass, and it was capitalized onto by the centre forward of Southampton because they had gone ahead to press very well. But when you look at David Raya, he did the same thing against RC Lens and Arsenal conceded. Then against Man City, he was just lucky because he did close to 3-4 times and he gave away that ball cheaply. Today, he has gone ahead to give out that ball again, and Palmer would have gone ahead to capitalize onto that, but he just took very many touches in the 6 yards area of the box of Arsenal, and it obviously got to that level. So to me, it's nowhere near where this team is supposed to be, especially in the goalkeeping department. It's going to leave what we call a divided opinion in the fans of Arsenal on whether it should be David Raya or Aaron Ramsdale. That is it. To me, David Raya is putting himself in a situation that he cannot handle what we call big games. Because if Aaron Ramsdale did just one mistake and Arteta thought of bringing another goalkeeper, why is it that this goalkeeper he's reserving is doing very many mistakes and not obviously get benched? If I told Mikel Arteta, I don't play you in the game of Sevilla. I don't play you in the game of Sevilla because you don't deserve to kick any ball and keep the goal of Arsenal when you're obviously operating like that. Because in the previous 3 games Arsenal have gone ahead to play consecutively, he has found himself giving out close to 7 sloppy passes in the 18 yards box area of Arsenal, you know? So it's really very, very irritating for a goalkeeper like him doing that stuff on the field of play, because it is really uncalled for, and David Raya is the reason as to why Arsenal have gone ahead to lose this game. Because look at how Arsenal comes back, meaning that there was a goal for Arsenal, you know, 1 or 2, that would have gone ahead to exonerate it from this draw. You get? So David Raya's second goal costs Arsenal. That is it. If that game was at 1-0, Arsenal would have gone ahead to pull one back and obviously fight to win this beautiful game of football. And remember, my prediction was 2-1. But David Raya has gone ahead to deny Arsenal their win they deserve, because the second half, they went ahead and obviously created very many chances into that side. And you saw to it that Bukayo Saka really went ahead to put in a moment of brilliancy, and obviously Trossard capitalized onto that. Remember, Arsenal came into this game when they're unbeaten, and they're still unbeaten as a club of Arsenal, and they're still going on as required to obviously put in a shift that Arteta is really going to really want. But I want to blame Arteta for the delayed substitutions, because if you are 2-0 at the 47th minute, why does it need to take you close to more 20 minutes to obviously make your first substitution? Because all what was clear that all you need is get Declan Rice into the CDM area and get on another attacking midfielder into that team. He needed to do that immediately because Jorginho and Declan Rice were not functioning very well when Arsenal is 2 goals down. When you're one goal down, you obviously say, let me keep it up, hold up, and obviously find that one chance and capitalize onto it. But it was not the case for Mikel Arteta because things were really bad for him. And I feel like sometimes he gets it right and sometimes he gets it wrong when it comes to obviously scoring, making those substitutions that are really called in for, and that's how things don't really happen. Because in a game like this, when you're 2 goals down, you can lose the game. Because when you look at Arsenal, they made their first substitution. They took off Zinchenko and brought on Takahiro Tomiyasu in the 46th minute. That was on point because we knew that Zinchenko was on a yellow card and Chelsea were targeting him to see to it that he obviously commits another offense, and it goes all begging into the hands of Chelsea, or in the favor of Chelsea, to see to it that he gets this man off the pitch with a red card. So then after making that, it took him 22 more minutes to take Gabriel Jesus off to bring on Edin Nketiah, and Jorginho played more 22 minutes on the field of play. And I ask myself, why would Jorginho play all those minutes on the field of play? Because he was really one of those players that were supposed to be taken off. Even Martin Odegaard, he's the man responsible for the second goal that Arsenal conceded, though David Raya just goes ahead to obviously give it an easy go in by getting off his goal line, not knowing where his goal is. You get? Odegaard was one of those players that were supposed to be taken off the field of play immediately. He was not supposed to be onto that field, because he looked bad today. Against Man City, he never looked good, but at least he pulled out some moments that you saw to it that it's a hard game. It was a game of chase, and you don't expect him to thrive that way. But now, today, he really looked ugly, and he gave away that ball easily. He didn't track back. That is the most threatening bit of it, because when you give away that ball like that, you need to be one of those players that run to track back to obviously save the situation. But he couldn't do that, and guess what happened? It was a goal. So Martin Odegaard was not supposed to play until the 78th minute to bring on Kai Havertz. He was supposed to be taken off, get on Emile Smith-Rowe, get on Kai Havertz to play alongside alongside Declan Rice. He was supposed to bring in Kai Havertz and Emile Smith-Rowe to play alongside Declan Rice for those minutes, like 30 minutes of the game, or 40. That was supposed to be done. So Arteta looks like he's making these mistakes continuously. But you saw to it that he had impactful substitutions that came on through and obviously changed the game of football. But you saw to it that when Kai Havertz came on through, Arsenal really had what we call the control in that midfield. Something that Odegaard failed to give them today. Kai Havertz came on the field of play and offered it to the side of Arsenal. So to me, it's really a game that obviously saw Arsenal really find themselves in a very bad situation, being 2 goals down, and obviously come back is really, 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 really very, very, very good. But for the side of Chelsea, Pochettino is going to be a very, very annoyed man today. He's going to be very, very annoyed today. Do you know why he's going to be very annoyed? That goalkeeper, the mistake he does, and the way Malo Gusto fails to mark that behind post, right? Because you have to keep that post in any way, So it's obviously one of those runs that never read. Madueke had also to be blamed, because you need to track back and help out this man to obviously not face 2 people at the same time. So Chelsea have gone ahead to obviously get in 1 point, and Arsenal have gone ahead to share the points. And let's get into what we call the match stats, as they obviously went ahead to be orchestrated down there. 11 shots by Chelsea, 13 shots by Arsenal, 5 shots on target by Chelsea, 3 shots on target by Arsenal, meaning that Arsenal really had lacked composure, especially in the first half. Arsenal looked bad. They couldn't obviously find themselves in a situation of obviously breaking through. 43% ball possession by Chelsea, 53 ball possession by Arsenal, 433 passes completed by Chelsea, 550 passes, 58 passes completed by Arsenal, 81% passing accuracy by Chelsea. Arsenal had 84% passing accuracy, 7 fouls by Chelsea, 14 by Arsenal, 3 yellow cards to Chelsea and 3 yellow cards to Arsenal, 0 red cards to both sides, 2 offsides to Chelsea, 1 to Arsenal, 2 corners for Chelsea and 7 for Arsenal. So it shows you that it was really a game that Arsenal had to win, because Arsenal had everything to do to say to it that they really kill off this game of football. But I think it's Mikel Arteta that denied himself a chance to win this game. How did he? Because he failed to obviously make the substitutions that he made early enough. And that is really what is happening for this gentleman. Now, let's go to the table and see how everything is really panning out. Man City is topping the table with 21 points, having a goal difference of 12. Arsenal is having a goal difference of 10. Same points with Man City, 21. Liverpool, 20 points with 11 goal difference. Tottenham 20 points, meaning that if at all Spurs win on Monday, they're obviously going to get back to the top of the table. Newcastle, 16 points, 9 games. Aston Villa, 16 points. That is 8 games. Brighton has been beaten today. They're having 16 points. And obviously, that's how the table is obviously looking. For Chelsea, they've gone ahead to come into the top half of the table. And they've gone ahead to put up these 12 points now, having gone ahead to obviously win this beautiful game of football. So that is it, coming in from none other than the match reaction that I've gone ahead to obviously compile today. It's a huge game. Liverpool won, Man City won, Arsenal have gone ahead to draw. Man United have just gone ahead to score their first goal through Scott McTominay. I sign out for now. See you later. And obviously, let's see what your thoughts are about this beautiful game of football that I've gone ahead to dissect here onto this channel. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I'm out. See you later.